Hello, good afternoon and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from the NAP House, Atomic Junction, Medina. I'm Khadija Tukubra Kayla, and coming up in today's headlines, 15 children die at Tamale Teaching Hospital over lack of dialysis machine. Also, Ghana and Korea collaborate on fighting misinformation. And in politics, MPP grants Bawumia more time to choose running mates. And finally, First Lady launches partnership to increase fistula repairs. Details of the stories comes up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Remember, we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at Baina TV. Now to our first story. The shortage of pediatric dialysis machine and consumables running has tragically led to the loss of 15 children at the Tamale Teaching Hospital since the year 2015. Lack of these essential medical supplies over the month has forced healthcare workers to improvise with adult machines, putting the lives of vulnerable patients at extreme risk.
Adam Yahya Wanzam, the nurse manager of the Tamale Teaching Hospital Dialysis Unit, in an interview with a sister station, issued a desperate plea for assistance, urging the government, individuals and non-governmental organizations to step forward and provide the life-saving equipment and supplies that are urgently needed. Mr. Wanzam lamented that over 10 to 15 children who were supposed to receive dialysis lost their lives due to lack of pediatric machines. They were improvising with the adult machines, which are not consumables for children. He added that the consequences of this shortage are devastating, not only for the children who have lost their lives, but also for their families who must endure the unimaginable pain. He said they are calling on individuals and non-governmental organizations to come to their aid by helping them acquire these pediatric machines and consumables so that when an innocent child finds him or herself in this situation, the Tamale Teaching Hospital Dialysis Unit will be able to rescue them.
Well, Ghana and Korea have agreed to develop a strategic partnership to curb the growing menace of misinformation and disinformation in the country. This came to light when Information Minister Kojo Oppong Nkrumah received the Secretary General of the Korean National Commission for UNESCO, Kyung Koo Han, in his office on Wednesday, December 6, 2023.
During the meeting, both parties discussed collaborative efforts to tackle the rising tide of misinformation and disinformation that are increasingly becoming one of the major threats confronting the security and development of both countries. This comes on the back of a recent National Conference of Disinformation and Misinformation, where a 7-point communique was collectively agreed upon by political parties, civil society organizations, media representatives and development partners. The plan currently in development is slated to be finalized by the end of the year and will incorporate a variety of strategies, including maintaining ethical standards in media, encouraging fact-checking in public conversations, supporting high-quality journalism and promoting civic education. Expressing delight over the long-standing diplomatic ties between Korea and Ghana, Mr. Han cited the Bridge Project, one of the youth-centered Korean programs which aims to help young people develop insights and skills needed to bridge the gaps between people of divergent cultural heritage by fostering greater intellectual awareness and understanding. He said there are ongoing talk for Ghana's potential hosting of the Documentary Heritage Workshop in a move that will further strengthen the country's efforts to achieve its heritage materials. Mr. Oppong Nkrumah assured the Korean delegation of a strong collaboration, ensuring both countries reap the benefits of these enduring relationships, particularly in areas of mutual interest such as education and culture.
Meanwhile, the Narcotic Control Commission has seized a truck carrying 12,600 slabs of compressed cannabis close to Akosombo in the eastern region. The truck was seized on Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, after it was discovered abandoned in a bush during an intelligence-led operation.
180 sacks of cannabis were found hidden in chicken feed after the truck was searched. After the 180 sacks were examined, 12,600 slabs of compressed cannabis were found. While more research is conducted, NARCOC is in charge of the truck that was stopped and contained the drug exhibits. Regarding the seizure, no suspects were taken into custody. Section 3942 of the Narcotic Control Commission Act 2020, Act 1019, forbid the cultivation, importation, exportation, unlawful possession or control, and business related to narcotic plants, as NARCOC reminded the public in a statement. Likewise, the Narcotics Control Commission Amendment Act 2023 special provision regarding cannabis with a maximum of 0.3% THC content on a dry weight basis for industrial purpose to obtain fiber or seed or for medicinal purpose does not automatically mean that cannabis is legal.
Meanwhile, the New Patriotic Party has granted its flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, additional time to select his running mate for the upcoming elections. This follows a crucial meeting by the New Patriotic Party's National Executive Committee and National Council concerning the topic on Wednesday, December 6, 2023.
The party's constitution usually requires the vice president candidate to be chosen 1 year before elections. However, considering Dr. Bawumia's relatively recent election as flag bearer, the party's leadership has chosen to waive their requirement. The party's National Council, which has the power to make exemptions to the party's rules, agreed with Dr. Bawumia's request to pick his running mate later. This means that Dr. Bawumia will have more time to consider his options and pick the best person to be his running mate. Addressing the press after a National Council meeting on Thursday, General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong-Kodua, noted that the National Council agreed with the request of the party's flag bearer.
Also in other stories, the Economic Community of West Africa States and the Media Foundation for West Africa have signed a 4-year Memorandum of Understanding. The MOU signed by the President of the ECOWAS Commission, His Excellency Dr. Omar Aliyu Toure, and the Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleimana Brahima, seek to enhance collaboration and cooperation between the two organizations.
In pursuit of the objectives of the MOU, ECOWAS and MFWA will focus on a number of strategic areas of cooperation aimed at enhancing democratic values, media freedom and development, human rights and peace in the region. The specific area of cooperation include building media capacity to contribute to enhancing democratic norms and values, enhancing media's role in countering narratives of violent extremism, polarization, radicalization, misinformation and hate speech, promoting freedom of expression online and offline, and access to information, and coordination with regional media partners to enhance citizens' awareness of ECOWAS and its activities across member states. At the signing ceremony, the ECOWAS Commission for Political Affairs, Peace and Security Ambassador Abdel Fattah Musa reiterated the strategic role of MFWA MFWA as a partner of choice that has the capacity to contribute to dealing with the critical challenges facing the region. He highlighted the role of the media in mobilizing public opinion in support of democratic values and countering anti-democratic narratives that appear to be on the rise in the region. Commissioner Abdul Fattah noted that the MOU with the MFWA was also critical because of the invaluable role of the media in promoting ECOWAS Vision 2050, which is ECOWAS of the people, peace and prosperity for all.
And finally, the First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, has launched a platform to source partnership and pool resources to help increase healthcare access for women with obstetric fistulas in the country. Launching the partnership in Accra on Wednesday, Ms. Akufo-Addo said obstetric fistula was one of the worst things that could happen to any woman.
Every year, 1,300 women get obstetric fistula, but only 100 can undergo surgery and repair. Obstetric fistula is when a woman goes through prolonged labor, which sometimes creates a passage between the rectum and vagina. In most cases, the babies die during this process. This condition leads to the leaking of offensive odor, which makes it impossible for the victims to go into public for fear of stigmatization. In Ghana, it is estimated that about 800 women die annually due to pregnancy and birth-related complications, and for every maternal death, 20 more pregnant women and girls suffer from pregnancy and birth-related complications, some of which are debilitating, including obstetric fistula. The underlying causes of fistula include poverty, lack of awareness, poor health-seeking behavior, poor referral system because of poor transportation network, and scarcity of skilled birth attendants. This is worsened by the stigma and discrimination from their own spouses, families, and community members. She called for the end of obstetric fistula in Ghana, together with all stakeholders, to work hard to bridge the gap between current fistula repairs and the actual number of women who suffer from fistula. She commended the UNFPA, Ghana Health Service, World Food Programme, Access and Fidelity Bank, MTN, Airtel Tigo, the media, and others for their determination to end obstetric fistulas in the country. She pledged her office continuous support to the partnership and urged other partners, particularly corporate organizations and philanthropists, to join the partnership so that together we will fight fistula and restore dignity to our women and girls. The AG Chief Executive of Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Frank Owusu-Sechere, said obstetric fistula remained a challenge that required collective effort, especially in deprived communities. He said currently fistula surgeons were being trained yearly to augment the pool of doctors across the nation. The director of the Family Health Division of Ghana Health Service, Dr. Kofi Issa, said the service was ready to partner and also to build capacities to deal with fistula in the country. He was hopeful that by 2030 there would be no fistula cases in the country.
And now in some sports story, Heart of Oak board member Vincent Sowa is assuring fans of an impressive performance against Asante Kotoko on Sunday. The Phobians head into the game on the back of a 1-0 defeat against Adriana FC in Doma, which leaves them 8 points adrift of the top spot.
Speaking to the media in Accra, Sowa Adoti acknowledges the challenges but expresses confidence in the team's potential for a compelling performance. According to him, even though Heart of Oak are going through some difficulties on the pitch, they will give a very good account of themselves against Asante Kotoko. Calling for a calm among supporters, Sowa Adoti emphasizes the team's commitment to delivering against Asante Kotoko. Encouraging positivity, he assures the fans that despite the competitive nature of the league, Heart of Oak will find a strong team for the crucial game. The much anticipated clash is scheduled to kick off at 3 o'clock GMT at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi.
And that was Abdulmanan Mukhtar with the remaining story. This is where we end our midday news. For more stories, log on to our website, www.bainamultimedia.com. I'm Khadija Kubra Keilani. Have a good afternoon.